Hey everybody, welcome to HeadTrip Air World Tour. We're here in the southern tip of Portugal, in the, what's the name of this airport? The name of this airport is, oh wait, hold tight, that's not the right one. The name of this airport is Faro. See if I can get this right. Faro Cago Cotino Cago Cotino. That one's a tough one. Alright, in any event, that's the name of the airport we're at. We're going to be moving over, knocking off one more country. So, as you recall, just to recap, we've knocked off Spain from the tour bucket list. We've knocked off Algeria, Morocco, and the Western countries over here. These guys decided to kick it up a gear, so let's just bring them down a gear. So, that's the plan. You can see our flight plan today. We're going to be taking off out of runway 28, presumably, unless air traffic control has different thoughts in mind. Checking some of the messages we need to check before we go into Wi-Fi mode here. Checking to see if there's any Labor Day special. Happy Labor Day, by the way. Hope you're having a good Labor Day. We're having a great Labor Day. My wife and I just took a blitz trip to Nashville. We actually drove to Denver and then took a quick hop flight over to Nashville and spent one night in Nashville on a date night, and then turned around, flew back, and drove all the way home from Denver to Salt Lake City. Now you might ask, why the heck did you do that? Well, we went to pick up our new puppy, our brand new Chin puppy, and the Chin now has a name. I think I might have mentioned this on a separate episode. Chin's name was, we were going back and forth. Primarily, there was a few names floating out there, but primarily we went out, or we were looking at Poe for a name and Remy, and my wife also, before we even decided to get a puppy, she always used to say our next puppy's name is going to be Zero. So Zero is also on the docket, for an optional name. Well, as it turns out, we went with Remy, and we gave her the middle name of Zero. And you might think that's super intentional, but it really wasn't. Remy Zero. And I was like, Debbie, I think there's a band named Remy Zero. And sure enough, there is. Not that they've been around since 2001, but back in the day when Smallville, you remember Smallville? TV show, Superman coming of age story, I guess. If you remember Smallville, the main theme song was a one-hit wonder from Remy Zero. So that's the name of her dog, Remy Zero. Really Remy, with the middle name Zero. And we like it. Hope you do too. But if you don't, no worries. You don't have to take care of it. So let's get in the air. We're starting to lose daylight. This was a dusk flight. Anyways, we're going to head on over, as I tried to start discussing, from the tip here of Portugal, right over here, through the southern portion of Spain, and then we're just going to come right out and into the Mediterranean, come back over to Gibraltar. We'll knock Gibraltar off our list of tour stops at HeadTrip Air World Tour, where we circumnavigate the globe and touch down on every single nation in the process. It's a long process, so we better get started. Let's do it. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to have to start pulling out the flashlight sooner than later. I'm going to just set, so I don't know. I'm going to have to get the battery on first. Let's go ahead and check the state of our aircraft just to make sure we're not flying into danger. Come on now. Inspect. Good, good, good. I'm pretty sure we drained a large chunk of our fuel on our last flight. Yeah, we're down to 38%. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this. It's a short flight, but why not have a little bit of fuel in the reserves? That works. All right, let's do it. All right, get all of our covers off. Control lock. And can't see it here very well, but the wheels are chalked up. We'll get those off along with our engine, pitot, and intake covers. Passengers pretty happy to start out with, and that's good. Because there's only two of us. Really one of us. That should get us where we need to be. Let's go ahead and get this thing up and running, shall we? Now our initial ATIS frequency is going to be 124.205. Flight number World Tour 178. So that's Whiskey Tango 178. And let's go ahead and get some power in this aircraft. We'll get the avionics running. Before we do anything, I want to go down and make sure we activate our fuel tanks. And let's pull out our cowl flaps. Hey, just 1 second. Got the wife coming to chat for a sec. Hold tight. BRB.
Air France 935 with taxi at Charlie. Answering, back to Economy 11, call back for
Okay. Back, good at it. ATIS, what did I say? 124 decimal 205? There we go.
H1011, landing and departing runway 28, transition level 040, numerous cranes in operation around Faro. Advise on initial contact, you have information Lima.
Information Lima, tons of cranes out there.
Airport information Lima, 1850 Zulu, wind 300 at 13, temperature 26, dew point 15, QNH 1011.
Wow.
Landing and departing runway 28, transition level 040, numerous cranes in operation around Faro. Advise on initial contact, you have information Lima.
Let's hear it one more time.
Faro Airport information Lima, 1850 Zulu, wind 300 at 13, temperature 26, dew point 15, QNH 1011, landing and departing runway 28, transition level 040, numerous cranes in operation around Faro. Advise on initial contact, you have information Lima.
Information Lima, okay. So apparently we've got multiple cranes in operation around Faro. And our departure takeoff runway is 28 with transition at 4,000 feet. And wind was about 13 knots. So just a tiny bit of gust there. Not much. And temperature, I've already forgotten what the temperature was. I've forgotten what the temperature was. But I'm going to assume it's fairly warm, so we'll go ahead and get our fans on anyways here shortly. Alright. I think we're ready to flip on the alternator, get our beacon, our nav and our strobe up and running. Our left fuel pump and magnetos pretty well full on the mixture and the props, and I think we're ready to make sure the parking brake's on before we do anything. Here we go. I think I forgot to prime. Got to prime that bad boy. Push some fuel through. We'll go ahead and get that fuel pump off. Turn on the right fuel pump. And prime to the right. And go ahead and start that. Right engine. Okay. Make sure we're getting some charging through the alternator. Looks like we are through the EEC. Oh, that's not good. That's interesting. Our right alternator is not functioning as it should. Eek. So, if you recall, we put this on... ooh, that's not very good. We put this on rare failures. And from what I can tell, unless I'm going crazy, that right alternator is not working the way it should. That's interesting. And we've got a failure light on there. Whew. Hold tight. Hold tight. Yeah.
All aircraft be advised.
Right alternator. We have got a problem. So how do I fix it? How do I fix it? That's what I want to know. How do I fix the right alternator? It's great to have failures, but it's not great if you have to be the mechanic to fix it. Need to replace the alternator. Alright, we can't fly. We can't fly this thing like this. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. We're going to get some repairs in here. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Get our fuel pump off. And we'll flip the avionics off. Flip the alternator off. Our lights. Our magnetos. And we'll bring our mixture all the way down. Interesting, interesting. Well, I guess it's good that we checked, right? Okay, let's go ahead, bring in a mechanic here. Looks like any last bit of sunlight we're going to lose out on. Not going to enjoy there. Huh. Alright, we're going to have to get an overhaul here. I wonder if you can... Where's the alternator? Alternator right there. Left and right. Let's just repair this bad guy right here. All defective items replaced on the right alternator. There we go. Don't you wish your own car mechanic work was that quick? Should we try this again and see if we have better luck? Alright, power back on. I'm going to test both alternators. Gotta get the engine started first, though, obviously. Get avionics back on. Get our lucky stickers on.
Charlie will be the taxiway on our left side.
On the left.
Okay, alternator up. Landing light, or excuse me, beacon, nav, strobe. Left fuel pump. Right magnetos. And let's give it a try. Prime to the left. Try it one more time. There we go. Left fuel pump off, right fuel pump on. And we'll prime to the right. Back up and running, at least. Let's see if we can get juice to our right alternator. Here we go. And that's what I'm talking about. Both alternators working beautifully now. Uh-oh. And I just had my right alternator fail again. It was working there for just a second and it just failed again. So... Interesting. I'm guessing the left alternator will be sufficient to get us across to our destination. But I can't be certain. I don't know. I guess we'll try. But if that left alternator goes out, we're going to be in a world of hurt. We're going to be in a world of hurt. Okay. Right fuel pump off.
Ethiopian 3852 itself, push and start approved facing east for Charlie taxiway runway 11, scope 5270, report to taxi.
Okay, I'm going to come out to my dome light here. Flip my dome light up. And that way you don't have to rely so much on our flashlight here. Okay, we're going to flip over to ground at 118.580. Wow, which we're already there. Beautiful. So I guess we're ready to get an IFR clearance. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Faro ground requesting IFR clearance, Whiskey Tango 178.
Whiskey Tango 178, Faro ground, expect runway 280. Climb flight level 060 on runway center lines, then expect radar vectors near X, squawk 5322.
Okay, so I guess we're going up to flight level 060 instead of 40. That's fine. Faro ground, expect runway 28. Transition to flight level 060, squawk 5322, Whiskey Tango 178.
Whiskey Tango 178, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Okay. Roger, Whiskey Tango 178. Okay, what I want to do is I want to... he's going to vector me once I get in the sky, so that's fine. That's fine. That way we don't have standard departure. We'll just move out the way he vectors us, and we'll be off to the races. So that's perfect. I just like to see my chart here. Let's go ahead and get taxi clearance if we can. We did start up without getting permission, so I guess we could... he doesn't know that. Well, yeah, he does. Well, maybe he doesn't. Let's find out. Faro ground requesting startup and taxi. Whiskey Tango 178.
Whiskey Tango 178, runway 28, taxi at pilot's discretion.
Roger, taxi at pilot's discretion. Whiskey Tango 178. Alright, so they're going to let us use our discretion. Really, when we're going to 28, it's just basically going to be running down the apron, hitting Delta, and probably over to on, what is this, Papa? So we're going to go Delta Papa, and then, yeah, I think that's it. Delta Papa and runway 28. So... it's kind of interesting that we named our dog the same thing as a band that we don't even listen to. Except that one song when we used to watch Smallville. Everyone's like, you must be a huge fan of Remy Zero. It's like, I guess so. I mean, I guess now. We certainly are of our doggy. Okay. Let's get the landing lights on, or at least the taxi lights. Landing lights might be a little bit bright to shine into the terminal, but the terminal looks pretty dark right now, so who knows, maybe that's just fine. I don't think we're going to get a push back. Let's make sure we have room to maneuver. A little bit tight in here. We're going to have to just take a right and twist around real quickly. We could probably almost make it underneath that jetway, but I'm going to go to the right. And right after this flight, we're going to go and pick up some puppy food from the Petco. Yeah, with that alternator. Okay, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Like, I can't fly with that failure. I seriously can't fly with that failure. Let me just see if I can... I'm going to try to repair that again. Just on the fly, because... oh, jeez. I thought maybe the left alternator would cross over into the right engine, but it's not doing that, and there must be something that I can do. There has to be something I can do. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alternator on. Let's do this. Uh-huh. Right fuel pump on. Magnetos. Come on, baby. You can do it. Oh, come on. Come on now. Okay. Wait a minute. I gotta figure this out. What do I need to click? Alternator filled emergency aviation power. Yes, indeed. We just got to figure out, maybe what I need to do is get both of those on and flip the alternator off and see what happens. Nope. That's ridiculous. How do I get that sucker working? Okay, they're going to do a little bit of troubleshooting here. Ah, there we go. There we go. Alternator right, left. I'm going to turn him off, but I am going to keep this guy on. And we're going to prime to the right again and see if we can make this thing happen. Here we go. Here we go. Huh? Doesn't want to stay on. Okay, so I got to figure out the alternates. Maybe I turned that off, but this on. Pole alternator. Getting nothing. Nothing to that right engine. So much for failures, huh? Priming to the right. Let's do this. Right engine off. And now let's try it again. Maybe that's what we need to do. We will find out. I turned that right engine off. And I might need to turn this alternator off. That's the problem. Let's just go full... Oh, brother. Alright, that is not working too hot. We're having plane issues here, folks. Oh, what do we do? All we want to do is just take a quick little flight, for heaven's sakes. This was going to be a short one. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull both. I'm going to pull both alternator switches and lift them both. I guess I have to do that one first. Oops. Those are both on, right? Jeez. Sure wish I could get a better view. Let's see, door. It's a little better view. That's odd. You would think those are supposed to flip those down. On. Off, on. On. Okay. Pull. Do we need to do anything else around here? Alternator. Alternator alerts. Got a bunch of fuses. Alright. Let's try something. I'm gonna Repair that right alternator, and the left for that matter. And is it the starter that's faulting? I mean, right magneto, left magneto, the spark plugs? I don't think so, but... yeah, not my favorite band, to be honest. But, you know, they're okay. I mean, yeah, that was a little harsh. They're okay. I guess they just weren't enough to keep going. 90s were an interesting time. Maybe I still have a grudge against the 90s. It's very possible. Because the 90s took out my mainstay music of glam metal from the 80s. We only made it to about 92, and then it was just over. It's just done. After that, when did Nirvana come out? Okay, I've got those all. Let's just try this. I'm going to turn on my power that, and I'm not going to turn any lights on yet, not just yet, but I am going to get the fuel pump working for me. Yeah, with the alternator, that's just not going to fly. Let's try to prime. Not without the alternator. Okay, I'll put the alternator on then. Fair enough. Keep primed to the left. Oh my gosh. Now I've got to figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Report ordering point, Whiskey Taxiway behind.
Yeah, I can't, that is just a no-go. Let's push these both in. It's clearly not going to work with those pulled. Wow. Turn off the alternates. Prime to the left. I've probably flooded this thing. Oh. No, that shouldn't be it. Okay. I don't think we're going to get off the ground. So much for flying with failures. I guess that's kind of the definition of a failure. They sure do a great job of that. Oh. You know what? That's half the problem. That's half the problem. Let's just see if we can do this one more time. Come on now. There we go. Let's try the right. Just quickly. Right. And we do have an alternator failure. No doubt about that. See how long it stays up. How's our alternator working? For the moment, it's working. And there it goes. Now the left alternator is gone. Oh, this is just something else. Just something else, isn't it? So, left. Let's pull. And let's turn off and we'll try to restart. Prime to the left. Alright, let's see how long we can get this thing. See, no alternator. Yeah, that's not gonna fly for more than a couple seconds. That alternator is just not doing its job. Oh, goodness. Well, maybe we'll just try this later. I'm going to have to learn how to work around failures. And I guess that's what it means to be a pilot. But I'm not a pilot. That's the problem. I'm just not one. I'm a wannabe. But just not the real deal. Not today. Avionics off. We'll come back to this at another time when things seem to be a little more conducive to flying in the air. This is my favorite episode of HeadTrip Air World Tour so far. First failure that we just don't know how to work around. Actually, that's not true. That's a completely false statement. But it's the first one that we intentionally introduced, should I say, that we don't know how to work around. So maybe ultimately it was just really bad thinking on my part. Okay. Looks like we're grounded here for a moment. Maybe that's just a sign that we need to go get some puppy food. And hang on. Get the fuel tanks off. And there we go. Let's flip those cowl flaps back in. Those flow caps. Fair enough. Little blustery anyways. Maybe it would have just been a recipe for disaster. And maybe the fates are looking out for us. So, wasn't meant to be. We'll come back maybe later today. Who knows? Depends how exciting Labor Day gets. Welcome.